Well, during Lent, we looked at different stories that Jesus told. In this time after Easter, I want to look at some of the characters that Jesus met. I'd like to start with Thomas. Thomas is perhaps obvious. He has a little nickname, doesn't he? Doubting Thomas. I've always thought that a little unfair. After all that he doubted was that a man that he'd seen executed was back alive again. However, sometimes I want to call him Honest Tom, but Honest Tom makes him sound a bit like Arthur Daly, of course. That dates me, and those of you that understood that allusion. But Honest Tom sounds a bit like a used car salesman. I've just offended some people, no doubt. But Thomas was a twin. Thomas is called the twin. He was one of Jesus' 12 disciples, and he wasn't there on that day that Jesus appeared. Don't know where he was. Sometimes there's a bit of criticism about him not being with the others. But I imagine when you've been through a trauma or grief, you just want to get out. You just want to clear your head. And I wonder whether that's what Thomas was doing. But he wasn't there. And when he came back, his friend said, Jesus is alive. And he refused to believe. Unless I put my fingers in the marks of the nails and my hand in his side, I just won't believe. And for that, he has been saddled, as it were, with the word doubting. Honest might be a better solution. Honest or believing, as somebody else has suggested. I wonder whether it says a lot about how we think of doubt. Doubt and faith are sometimes seen as diametrically opposed, whereas I sometimes think of them as siblings. Siblings can have a raucous relationship and full of vigour and vim, but sometimes exceptionally close. I see faith and doubt almost as siblings, as dancing partners, as it were. Sometimes there'll be the tango, which apparently is quite pacey, quite wonderful, quite close, and sometimes it'll be a dance that's at arm's length. But they define each other. Thomas is not defined by his doubt. Is defined by the fact that when he meets Jesus, he declares him to be Lord and God. He declares him to be his everything. And by legend, by tradition, he ends up in India, founding the Orthodox Church there. What an amazing story that would have been. Tomorrow, or next time, we'll look at when Jesus meets James. He meets his brother. How wonderful will that be? Ta-ra, everyone. Ta-ra for a bit.